don't know what's real anymore. What happened?
It's a suicide. What is this thing?
Bringer of misery, taker of children. It'll make you see things, feel things that aren't real.
At the beginning of the film, Yosel is seen preparing to perform a ritual. Only then does his wife Ada comes there and ask him to stop, saying he is hurting them. Yosel tells her to burn in hell and then begins to recite some prayers from his Bible. But then Sarah comes there and says he knows what happens when she doesn't feed. She approaches the circle that he had created and asks if he wants to see his wife again. Yosel says he will never feed her again, to which the girl starts walking away saying there are always others, and then disappears into the darkness saying, "One life for his wife." Yosel steps out of the circle, and as he asks God for forgiveness, a demon enters his body. But before it could take possession of him, he stabs and kills himself with a knife. We then see Claire and Arthur visiting Arthur's dad, whom Arthur had long abandoned because he was against their marriage. And now that Claire is pregnant, Arthur is sure that his father will accept her. His dad runs a funeral home, and when they enter the house, they see that a funeral is taking place there. Only then Arthur's dad comes there and hugs him, saying he missed him a lot. He then hugs Claire too and says they are family. Now while they were having dinner, Arthur's phone rings and he leaves there to attend to the call, and Saul says sorry to Claire for not attending their marriage. On the other hand, we come to know that Arthur has a loan going on, to close which he needs to mortgage his father's house, and if he fails to do so within a week, the bank will take his house. Now when he joins them back, the doorbell rings and Saul tells them it must be Hamish. He then takes Arthur along with him to do mitzvah, where Hamish brings a dead body. Now here we see that the dead body is of Yosel, and Saul tells Arthur that he was a brilliant scholar and became a recluse after his wife died. Hamish tells them that he was desperate to contact the wife on the other side. Hamish then calls Saul out to have a quick word, and after they leave, Arthur unzips the bag and finds a knife stabbed in his chest. He takes out the knife and throws it in the wash basin. Outside, Hamish asks Saul if he doesn't find it suspicious that Arthur shows up after all this time. To which Saul says Arthur really wants to start again and asks him if he doesn't love him. To which he says he loves him, but he doesn't trust him. Meanwhile, Arthur finds an amulet in his neck, and as he cuts it off, Yosel opens his eyes, causing the amulet to fall and break, and it gets dark there. Now when Saul comes back, Arthur pushes that amulet into the drain, and Saul asks him if he is okay. Suddenly Yosel gasps loudly, and Saul tells him it's just a little Roger Mordice. He then finds that knife in the wash basin and asks Arthur to go and check on Claire. He says he will finish up here and they can do the rest tomorrow. After he leaves, Saul checks the knife again and finds something written on it. Now when Arthur goes to Claire, he hears some whispering, and when he comes out to check, he hears a door opening from behind him. When he goes there to check, he gets disturbed by a loud pitch noise that fades away the next moment. Later, the door of their room opens and Claire wakes to the door closing sound. She goes to the washroom, and meanwhile, the door of their rooms opens again. Claire comes out of the washroom switching off the light, but it switches on again, and suddenly Yosel attacks her on her stomach, but it turns out to be a nightmare. Later, Saul calls 𝐀𝐋𝐖 and asks him for a favor. He tells him the words written on the knife, to which 𝐀𝐋𝐖 tells him it's an ancient warding inscription, and one of God's hidden names written backward for invoking demons and for sealing them. But he thinks in today's world no one knows how to seal a demon in a body. Saul asks him what if someone did, to which 𝐀𝐋𝐖 asks him if there was a pendant on the body preserving a holy letter. Saul says no, and 𝐀𝐋𝐖 says it means there is no way he picked up a body containing a demon. And even if it is, the worst an entity like this can do is mess with his mind. Later, when Claire is taking pictures of the food, she sees a hand in the camera, which scares her a bit. When she looks through the camera again, she sees someone's feet. When Claire turns on the video recording, some sound is recorded in it, and when she listens to it, she hears a whispering which suddenly becomes very loud, which scares her, causing the camera to break. Meanwhile, Hamish is in the car when Arthur's phone rings and he picks up the call and he learns that Arthur is here for his father's house. Later, while Saul is talking to Claire, Hamish comes there and tells him that Arthur is selling this whole place under him. Arthur tries to explain to him, but Saul checks the paper and asks him to shut up. A furious Arthur prepares to leave the house, but Claire comes there and says she wants the truth. He tells her that he has not been able to sell a house in 2 years, but he talked to the bank and refinanced the house. Claire says he told her that he had everything under control. She left her job that she didn't have to do. She asks him what was his plan and did he saw his father's face downstairs. Arthur tells her that he saw his mother rot in that room, and when he needed his dad, he told him to go away to synagogue and pray. She asks him to go and talk to him to make everything right, because if they leave now, he will always regret it. Arthur goes to talk to his dad, but he does not dare to talk to him and goes back. After he leaves, Saul hears some noise from the corridor, and the lights there start flickering. Only then does he feels that someone is there, and when he goes there to check, the door there opens very loudly. He then sees a demon standing outside the door, after which the lights of the room start flickering again and Saul is horrified to see the demon. He tries to run away from there but the door is locked and then the room becomes completely dark. Now when Saul lights the lamp, that demon is standing right in front of him, seeing which Saul gets terrified and starts reciting prayers, after which we hear him choking. The next morning, Arthur gets shocked to see his dad is dead and a man there tells him that his heart gave up. But Hamish says no and hands him the contract paper and says he broke it, and after he leaves, Arthur finds that the papers are signed by Saul. Later, during the funeral, 𝐀𝐋𝐖 also comes there and Hamish was deeply saddened by Saul's death and was holding Arthur responsible for it. We then see that Arthur is in some kind of trance and is scraping something on the chair. Suddenly he comes to his senses and runs to his room and takes out his tefillin. He then hears a thump on the door, but when he goes to check, he finds no one there and only then does the mezuzah break and he goes into a trance again. Meanwhile, Claire gets scared to see Sarah there, and then she runs away and hides behind a sheet. But when Claire goes near her, she disappears from there, and as she removes the sheet, she finds a mirror there. Now when she looks back, she finds Sarah there and asks her what she wants. Suddenly the sheet falls on her, and Sarah screams, "Help me," and Claire gets terrified and leaves there. She goes to Arthur and tells him that there is something weird happening. But he doesn't say anything and sits on the bed and tells her that he needs to sleep. Later that night, we see him carving something on the floor, but when he regains consciousness, there is a carpet there. He then goes to his room and tells Claire that he thinks he is going crazy. Claire calms him down and says they will go home. Now the next day some people come to take Yosel's body for burial, but whatever was written in his report was spoiled. They ask him where is Hamish, to which he says he doesn't work here anymore. They tell him that unless he can transfer custody to a next of kin, he will have to wait for police clearance. Later, Arthur goes to Yosel's house and finds that his house is very strange and full of things related to satanic rituals. He also finds "forgive me" as his last words typed on a typewriter. He then finds some tapes with summoning attempts written on them. Arthur plays the tape and listening to it, he starts looking around for something when he notices a satanic symbol carved on the floor. Now when he checks there, he finds a videotape beneath the floor with the miracle of Sarah written on it. He plays that tape in which Yosel is telling that he has finally found the cure for death. After months of research, he finally conjured the Archangel of Life. He says today they will bring back his wife Ada from heaven. He asks Sarah to go ahead and stand inside the circle, and Arthur gets shocked to see her levitating in the air. Only then does Yosel realize that something is wrong, and then an invisible force throws him away, after which it possesses Sarah and kills her, and as the demon appears on the screen goes blank. Only then he gets a call from Claire, who tells him that the wife of the man downstairs is here, and before he could tell her anything the call disconnects. As she turns, she finds Ada right behind her, who tells her that she just wants to see her husband's face. Now when Claire takes her to her husband, Ada asks her to open the fridge, to which she says they should wait. But when she insists, Claire takes him out, and suddenly her stomach starts hurting. She asks Ada what she has done to her, to which she says she has been infected. Now as her pain increases, Ada says soon her child will join countless others. Many lost souls are calling out for help and only she could stop this curse before it's too late. She asks her to take that pendant out and burn it. Now as she burns the pendant, Yosel's body catches fire and Claire sees Ada transforming into a demon. She gets terrified seeing it and runs away from there. But when she comes upstairs, she sees that the building is collapsed and there is that symbol on the floor. She tries to go out but finds the door locked, and as she tries to call Arthur, her phone flies and goes into the circle. Arthur picks up the call and asks her to come closer and then he starts laughing. Claire gets scared and hides under a table, and then she sees Ada coming there and then she leaves there, but only then she finds her just next to her. Arthur then reaches home and when he comes inside to find Claire, he gets shocked to see Sarah there. He asks her where is his wife, to which she points him toward the couch and he tries to wake up Claire. He asks Sarah what she did to her, but only then Claire wakes up and tells her there is something wrong. Arthur picks her up saying they are getting out of there, but as he comes out, Sarah disappears from his arms, and when he goes inside, he finds Sarah and Claire there and Sarah says a life for a life. Claire then again wakes up and when Arthur tries to take her out, she vanishes again. Now when he comes back in, he finds that Claire is not there and Sarah asks him shall they make a deal. She then points him towards the window and he sees some kids playing outside with the snow. He says he won't get her a child, and then suddenly he starts hearing very loud whispers which stop after some time, and Sarah also disappears from there. He then calls 𝐸𝐻𝐻, who asks him to show him the tape. He watches the tape and asks him if this thing is in the house, to which Arthur says he thinks so and it has his wife. 𝐸𝐻𝐻 then calls 𝐂𝐃 to the house, who tells them that the circle is a sigil, a sacrificial altar to those who enter it. He asks Arthur did his wife enter this sigil, to which he says he doesn't know. They then go to see Yosel's body and find that its vessel has been shattered. 𝐸𝐻𝐻 asks him what is this thing, to which he tells him it's a 𝐕𝐈, the taker of children. Only then a bulb explodes there, and 𝐂𝐃 finds that pendant there and he says he must finish what Yosel started. He then tells them that since before the era of concealment, a 𝐕𝐈 has been inflicting misery and miscarriage, forcing the bereaved and the desperate to feed it, until God intervened and called upon Abraham to sacrifice his son, forever binding a 𝐕𝐈, until Yosel brought it back. It will make them see things and feel things that are not real, whatever it takes to get what it wants. But with this pendant, they can bind it and their prayers will force it inside. Arthur asks him how do he kill it, to which 𝐂𝐃 says there is no kill, they have to trap it, as Yosel did. Arthur picks up that knife and asks them if this would save his wife and baby, to which 𝐸𝐻𝐻 says yes. After a while, 𝐸𝐻𝐻 asks 𝐂𝐃 if there must be something else they can do, to which he says there is no other way. Only then does the door open and the demon kills 𝐂𝐃 by snapping his neck. It then appears in front of them, and the lights there start exploding. They both run away from there and start making the circle with the ash, but only then Arthur notices that 𝐸𝐻𝐻 is gone. He then sees his dad there who asks him to do what it wants, but only then 𝐸𝐻𝐻 stops him and tells him that whatever he saw was not his father. He gives him his father's Bible to him and makes him wear that pendant. Soon after the demon reaches there and attacks 𝐸𝐻𝐻, and when Arthur tries to bring him inside the circle, the demon drags him away and kills him. Arthur then starts praying, but then Claire comes there and the door gets shut. She screams for help, and as Arthur comes out to help her, he sees her hanging on the wall. He tries to get up to help her but fails, so he starts reading the prayers again. Soon after the demon starts entering his body, and as he tries to stab himself, the knife flies away from his hand. 𝐸𝐻𝐻 then comes here to help him complete the ritual and helps him to stab him. But he then tells him that he should have stayed in the circle, and only then he notices that the pendant is lying away from him, and then he sees 𝐸𝐻𝐻's dead body lying in front of him, and then he dies there. Here Claire wakes up and comes out from under the table, and when she comes out, she finds Arthur there. He comes to her and asks her if she and the baby are okay. Only then she realizes that it's not Arthur but the demon, and she is standing inside that circle, and only then does the demon attack her. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for